Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Yeah, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets done taught me, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets done taught me, I'm just tryna get my nigga paid. We came from Section 8, and I knew I was at since the second grade. Man, I swear my time is coming, cause I'm never late. Came from broken homes and broken dreams to getting paid.
Boss Cowboys.
Your voice matters.
Your voice matter, baby. Yes, it does. Alright. So we coming today with a very important show to me. I think this show is one of those attention to detail things that's super important, right? Because if the Dallas Cowboys was to lose, it's going to be over something likely small. It's going to be a detail that we overlook. So like I said, I'm in playoff mode in terms of trying to look at all the likely small details that we need to be aware of. And I'm going to tell you now, Governor Dak at 3% with a mix of spicy Dak at 97% equals 100% of a Super Bowl offense. I'm going to explain it. Sit back and relax. Let's go. Your voice matter.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
No watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. New watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. Need no middleman, I'm the man to man, send it in. I like what I like, me, I know my rights is sipping in. I like having fun, I do what I want, it's what it is. For my son and son, for my daughters, yeah, it's for my twin. I work through the night, I do what I like, get a check, I go for the ride. I've been down the ride for the win, still move on the hush, never run for none. I face my fears, I just drop for none, month to month, still from year to year. New watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. New watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich. Do it again, again, again. I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich. Do it again, again, again. Get some checks, I invest, and I spend a check. Spend a check, get it back, then I take a rest. Only race is the human, I take care of my skin. I was doing this as a rookie, now I'm up to vet. Set the trend, set the pace of play. I don't trip, but if I fall, bet I make a way. I take trips in the fall, watch the leaves change. I like to treat every day like it's my B-day.
Like it's my B-day.
No watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. New watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich. Do it again, again, again. I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich. Do it again, again, again.
Welcome to Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matter.
Do it again, again, again.
All the executives in the building, have a seat.
Do it again, again, again.
And do it again and again and again. So, the subject that we're talking about today is one of those attention to detail things that I want to take my time and explain. Because I see an issue that I'm certain a lot of people not seeing. I'm certain too. So I ain't got no friends about this either, you know? And some of this, some people go disagree with. I'm cool with that. But I think if I do a better job of explaining it, I know I'm gonna pull some people to my side on this. Because at the end of the day, it's about winning. It's about winning, right? It's not about Dak getting credit, or it's not about, oh, my boss say, damn, boss, we early tonight. Nah, actually, this is an emergency show. I'm going on at 8. We got Boss Candy at 8. We just got a emergency topic that I want to talk about. All right. My boss said, we good, executives? Yeah. So the issue that I've been already, and if you've been listening to my content, you know, and also Coach Marv and Amp go come in a minute. After I finish breaking this down. If you've been listening to Boss Cowboy Sports for any amount of time, I have been raising a concern. And I did say, if you really, really, really pay attention, see, life crazy, the way you going about this campaign, make sure that you're not trying to win, bro. Just make sure that that's not your motive. This is not about, you got to first hear the case before you make your spicy Dak. It's like, wait, let me make the case first. So after I make the case, then I'm gonna render the judgment to the people. And I don't care what the outcome is, but I'm gonna be fair after I get my case out there and then say, all right, what's the final verdict on what I just said? But I'm gonna give the full background on this because this is very important. All right, very important what I'm talking about. So the dilemma that I was seeing and I've been talking about for a little while is we kept hearing all offseason what? This is Dak's offense, right? So nobody in the media, in my opinion, never got it clarified. How does that happen? Because they asked a question, okay? They asked a question to even CeeDee Lamb in the offseason. They asked, what's one of the biggest differences of this offense versus Kellen Moore? And CeeDee Lamb said, Dak has way more control. As a matter of fact, he said he's in full control of the offense. So that also tells you to a degree that there was also a governor on Dak last year. It was an exotic governor, but it was a form of governor. And so before I even go even further, I need to first explain what a governor is, all right? Because that might not be clear on what I'm talking about, so let's make it clear right now. So a governor, and the OC was one of the first people to bring this up, so we got to give him credit for that. Good job by the OC. Is a governor can be used to limit the speed of vehicles. And for some classes of vehicles, such as devices, are illegal and a requirement. So it's a device basically that limits the speed, okay? So you can kind of see what we're using with that metaphor when I say governor. It's almost like, to a degree, in certain circumstances, law even said it is almost like you putting a limit on your quarterback. And so that's what a governor is. Now, going back to what I was saying with Mike McCarthy versus Dak, right? So the issue is, and it finally came up, my boss said keeping on the training wheels. In a HTM in the building. In a way, kind of training wheels, but not. I'm gonna explain. So, but the issue is, and it finally came up the last game, is the communication between Dak, where the play comes in from Mike McCarthy, and then we finally saw it in work. And it was in the pivotal fourth down where we was trying to win the game by extending the drive and taking away the ability of Detroit to even come back. And there ended up being a division of styles on how to attack. Okay? Because as we begin to really break down what happened, the initial thought was it was Mike McCarthy. The initial thought by pretty much the world was that Mike McCarthy was crazy. He was dumb. He threw the ball on 2nd and 13. What an idiot, everybody was saying. Then we did our research and listened closely, and it was like, actually, he didn't. So I'm gonna play what I played yesterday. Then I'm gonna put something together that a lot of people not seeing. Cause my boy D.A. Lee said this yesterday, and it was a good thought. I cannot hate on this thought. He said, I still blame Mike McCarthy because they should have ran the ball. So let's listen to Mike McCarthy. Then I'm gonna put this together. Now y'all know I'm Perry Mason now. It's, because I always say this, there's a lot of good people in the space, but when it comes down to investigating this stuff, that's what I do well. That's where I put my foot down in this space. So I want y'all to really listen, because believe me, I've heard some things and I've deducted some things that I guarantee you most people not gonna see. So let's listen to it one more time and we're gonna break this down.
Obviously, a lot of talk about the 2-point sequence at the end, but also some talk about the tripping penalty maybe should have gone the other way and might have changed the way the game.
What'd you think? I don't know.
Doesn't matter what I think.
Oh, it does. I mean, you have a voice in this.
What was your view of that on tape, and what would you say about it now? That particular
Oh, I mean, I think the tape is, clearly, you probably saw it when they showed it on the replay. The penalty clearly, in our view, really clearly flips the situation, because you're 1st and 10 on the, I'm not exactly sure it was, 24, 25, 26 yard line there. We took the turnover, and, we're 2nd and 4 with a running clock, so that takes out their second timeout. So now you in a position, because you clearly want to be inside the 30. I clearly understand how good Brandon's, kicking the ball, but there's also field position, concerns on both sides of that, kick. But when we went to 1st and 25, the goal was to cut it in half, and we did that on the first down with the slant CD.
So let's pause it right there, because this is the thing. He's breaking down. This is important. He's breaking down what happened, but then more important, he breaking down why. He giving you the game management thinking that he had. All right. So he said the first play was 1st and 25, moved back by that penalty, and the goal was to try to cut it in half with that slant to CD. So here's the play right here where you see him execute that, a slant, boom, right? And he got not exactly half, but he closed the gap. So now it's 2nd and 13. And he's going to clearly explain what he was thinking in terms of management. Here we go.
We're expecting pressure, got it. And the same thing on the second down. The second down play is just a really disappointment. Whether it's communication from my end.
So he said the second down play was a disappointment. Now, this is where he's falling on the sword. Because he said, well, there was communication on my end. Think about it. When people say it was communication on my end, he's saying I didn't make it clear to that. That's his way of saying it was probably me not making it clear. But he's also making it clear that wasn't on me. But he ain't exactly just point at Dak. Okay? He's walking a fine line of telling the truth of what happened and protecting his quarterback. But keep listening.
We just weren't all clean. We got what we were expecting defensively, and was trying to hit the individual cuts to to Brandon and CD on the one-on-ones, because that clearly would have put us in a 3rd and short, which I was trying to get to 3rd and 5 or less.
So he said his aim for the second and 13 was to get to 3rd and 5 or less. So what he was doing in the game management thinking, he was saying, we got this penalty. We also trying to kill the clock. I'm gonna break this down piece by piece by piece, trying to get up to the chains.
To give us a chance to convert and end the game. So that was the thinking there, clearly understanding the time clock and so forth.
So he said, clearly that was my aim, and fully understanding my thinking was to convert and kill the game. Right? And so then when we go look at the play, right? It was like, hold on, let me do this where y'all can see my face. All right? Because this is why this play was crazy. Because it's like 2nd and 13, we need to kill the clock. We go talk about pass versus run, but a fade is absolutely the worst throw. Because you kill the clock within 4 seconds if it's not completed. You probably didn't take maybe even 3 seconds off the clock with a fade pattern. So when I saw that, I was like, what? Right? And we all was like, who did that? And this is where all of us start being like, Mike, you crazy. Right? Because even if you throw the ball, a low percentage throw like a fade, and if you don't complete it, you take no time off the clock. Plus it's also a low probability play. I was like, the fuck? And we all was like, the management didn't make sense. And let's be honest, the management didn't match the pattern of Coach McCarthy. It didn't match what we were seeing from him pretty much the whole season. Like me and Amp was saying, like, bro, we asked Mike on certain drives, we would say, Mike, we need 6 minutes out of you on this drive to close it out. Mike would give us 7. So that fade gave it away. I was like, shit, what was that? So now let's keep going.
We had 3 downs. We were able to keep the clock running on 2 of the 3, but the second down call was the one that would have gave us a chance to put the game away.
So he fully understand why the second down was pivotal, right? So the first clue that made me know that it was likely Dak is when he said, my goal was to get it to 3rd and 5. So if your goal was to get it to 3rd and 5, a fade then wasn't what you was thinking. So that's what made me say that likely then was on Dak. So then when I said that, the great executives of the chat was like, boss, he said it during his press conference. And I was like, oh, he did. So you know me, I went and looked. Now, when I looked, it's a lot more that came out if you pay attention, and it's gonna reveal some stuff if you really lock in to Dak and what he's saying. So let's listen to that. Then we go put it together and we go really break down this governor versus spicy Dak. All right, so here we go. Listen.
Call on 2nd and 14 where you throw it and you're looking deep to Brandon.
Hold on real quick. Let me fix this. Hold on, y'all give me a second, man. I gotta get this right. You know I gotta have this right for y'all, man. Y'all know me, man. Come on now. I wouldn't be being me if I didn't get it right for y'all. So let me get it right. Let me start it over. Let's go.
The mindset you're talking about, does that go into you guys with the play call on 2nd and 14 where you throw it and you're looking deep to Brandon, that you're trying to end the game right there? Or what are your thoughts on that situation?
Yeah, I mean, that's on me, honestly. Other options right there. Brandon had the right route, ran the right route on it was played. They brought zero. I got to do a better job on that one. That's when we're talking about the roller coasters of emotions. That's one because I feel like I put our team in that situation, throwing the ball right there. And so that's one I promise you that'll keep me up at night.
So this is what people got to listen closely for. Listen closely to what he said.
That's one because I feel like I put our team in that situation, throwing the ball right there. And so
doing the what right there?
That's one because I feel like I put our team in that situation, throwing the ball right there. And
throwing the ball right there?
That's one because I feel like I put our team in that situation, throwing the ball right there. And
so now let's put together the deductive reason. I'm gonna come back to that. So for those who saying, and I'm just breaking this down, for a lot of people, and my boy D.A. Lee is right, you have to look at whoever decided, even in that situation, to throw the ball. Now, if he's saying it was my fault for throwing the ball right there, and we know he was the one that checked to that play, why do you say it was my fault for throwing the ball right there if it was not the original play not to run the ball? Did y'all get what I just said? If you say it was my bad for throwing the ball right there, that likely mean the original play was not to run the ball. I mean, throw the ball. Do I need to say?
So that's one I promise you that'll keep me up at night. Tonight for sure. And that's one because I feel like I put our team in that situation, throwing the ball right there. And so that's one I promise you that'll keep me up at night. Tonight for sure. And I'll have to flush that thought. But
that's what I see. You hit it on the head. See, that's what I feel too. It sounds like it's supposed to be a run or a screen. You see what I'm saying? Because because you got to keep in mind, Mike McCarthy is not throwing Dak under the bus on this. But he did kind of hint to it. He said it was the second down that was where I was. Without saying it was second down on what Dak did. He didn't say that. It was just the second down that was kind of like. It's almost like, it's almost like. It was that second down. So again, I'm gonna ask you one more time. Why do you say it was my fault for checking to a pass right there if the original play was a pass? My boy say, can you play Mike McCarthy interview again? I will. For my boy Special K. Because your voice matter, big dog. Hold on, my boy Special say, can't play it again. I'm gonna play it again for the homie. Because my boy Special K, like, I'm trying to investigate myself. So I'm gonna play it all the way back for my homie Special K. I'm gonna play the whole thing for you, Special K. My boy made him a personal request and I'm gonna give it to him. Here we go.
Obviously, a lot of talk about the 2-point sequence at the end, but also some talk about the tripping penalty maybe should have gone the other way and might have changed the way the game.
What'd you think? I don't know.
Doesn't matter what I think.
Oh, it does. I mean, you have voice in this.
What was your view of that on tape, and what would you say about it now? That particular
Oh, I mean, I think the tape is, clearly, you probably saw it when they showed it on the replay. The penalty clearly, in our view, really clearly flips the situation, because you're first and 10 on the, I'm not exactly sure it was, 24, 25, 26 yard line there. We took the turnover, and, we're second and 4 with a running clock, so that takes out their second timeout. So now you in a position, because you clearly want to be inside the 30. And I clearly understand how good Brandon's, kicking the ball, but there's also field position, concerns on both sides of that, kick. But when we went to first and 25, the goal was to cut it in half, and we did that on the first down with the slant CD. We're expecting pressure, got it. And the same thing on the second down. The second down play is just a really disappointment. Whether it's communication from my end, we just weren't all clean. We got what we were expecting defensively, and was trying to hit the individual cuts to Brandon and CD on the one-on-ones, because that clearly would have put us in a third and short, which I was trying to get to third and 5 or less to give us a chance to convert and end the game. So that was the thinking there, clearly understanding the time clock and so forth. So we had 3 downs, we were able to keep the clock running on 2 to 3, but the second down call was the one that would have gave us a chance to put the game away.
Yeah, so I just played it for you, Special K. No. So he said, and I see what you're saying. He said, see, he was trying to throw it there. No, what he was doing, he was explaining the concept that Dak called. He was explaining what Dak was trying to do there. He was explaining the concepts that Dak checked into. He wasn't trying. He was saying like what we was trying to do, but he was basically saying what Dak was trying to do based on what he checked to. So he was basically saying, I see what Dak was seeing. See, because what happened is they showed a press look that gives the offense from their view an advantage. When they showing man coverage on CeeDee Lamb and Cooks, pretty much the offense is like, oh, take that. See, that's the normal offense. Take that. Oh, you take that all day. But see, this was a different situation. This was about also managing the game. So the normal things that Dak would do in terms of being aggressive, he shouldn't have done on this one, nor should he be in a situation to make that decision. So let me prove it real quick, because I need to show you the difference between the governor offense and spicy Dak offense. So the governor offense is what a lot of people would consider what I call bow tie Dak. Bow tie Dak. This is the offense that's extremely effective at long drives. So remember during the first part of the season, everybody was talking about Mike McCarthy with his red zone issues, but you know what they was not talking about? Mike McCarthy and his ability to control tempo and clock. It was not one person complaining about it, because actually Mike McCarthy under the governor offense or bow tie Dak was number 1 in 10 play drives. Bow tie Dak. But see, this is the issue with bow tie Dak. Even though it was very efficient at 10 play drives, it was also not truly opening up the offense and stalling out in the red zone. So Governor Dak or Governor offense was efficient at what you need the most at the end of a game where you are ahead. So if you ahead like we was with Detroit, and you saying, what the OC would call, let's let the air out the ball. Right? We gonna let the air out the ball. Then that's the actual perfect timing of the governor Dak, bow tie Dak, good boy Dak, safe Dak. Because it was also another point to the offense in the first half of the season that a lot of people hated. The methodical style of Governor Dak. Because remember, Dak had also the least air yards out of all quarterbacks. So that means it was a safe, methodical offense that was driving downfield. But then use your common sense and ask yourself, what do you want when you trying to close out a game? Do you want a exciting, vertical, risk-taking offense? Or do you want the safe, methodical, clock control offense? To close out the game, to be frank, Spicy Dak can kiss my ass. I want Governor Dak in that scenario. So let's talk about the metamorphosis to what created Spicy Dak. See, Spicy Dak is different. Let's explain Spicy Dak. See, Spicy Dak got some swag. See, Spicy Dak is a risk taker. Spicy Dak will put the game on his back, and Spicy Dak will go vertical. Spicy Dak is go back the defense up, and if you give us, you right, Miss Lockhart, you said it best. I want both. Somebody finally said it best. Let me see. She said, I want both. Yes. And let me say it like this. I want both, just depending on the situation. That's a perfect thing. So that's why if you look at the title of the thumbnail, you go see me say, I want 3% of Governor Dak and 97% of Spicy Dak. I want 3% of Governor Dak. And we're going to talk about that. But I have to first explain both of them. Spicy and Governor Dak. So here we go. Let's talk about the birth of Spicy Dak. This came from NBC.
It feels like you are moving more by design, but also spontaneously, and also throwing the ball down the field a little bit more. Is that true?
That's definitely true. I mean, going back to San Fran game and really before that, we want to be aggressive, and you've got to take your shots, and I don't think we were doing that early enough. I mean, Coach.
The birth of Spicy Dak. Listen again.
It feels like you are moving more by design, but also spontaneously, and also throwing the ball down the field a little bit more. Is that true?
That's definitely true. I mean, going back to San Fran game and really before.
So what birthed Spicy? What brought Spicy into? What brought on this Dak? Fly Dak, Spicy Dak. What birthed him was San Fran. That's what birthed Spicy.
For that, we want to be aggressive, and you've got to take your shots, and I don't think we were doing that early enough. I mean, Coach McCarthy would be the first to say that, and so now it's about.
Yep. So he said Mike McCarthy be the first to say that.
You give us one-on-one and you want to challenge us, we're going to challenge you. See if you can keep up and you can run with the guys that we have. And
so do y'all see what Spicy Dak is? Let me rewind it so you can know what Spicy Dak is. Let's figure out exactly what Spicy Dak offense is.
Say that. And so now it's about you give us one-on-one and you want to challenge us, we're going to challenge you. See if you can keep up and you can run with the guys that we have. And
that's Spicy Dak. Again, this is the difference now. One more time.
I mean, Coach McCarthy would be the first to say that. And so now it's about you give us one-on-one and you want to challenge us, we're going to challenge you. See if you can keep up and you can run with the guys that we have. And we're going to take the top off of it. And then from there, we'll open up other things.
All right. So let me take a pause and come back to that. And then let's evaluate now again what happened. So now we sitting in a situation where it's second again, right? It's 2nd and 13. We trying to actually, let me ask you, what's the score right now? Dallas 17, Detroit 13. What's actually more important here? Aggression or killing clock? I'm going to just wait for y'all to answer the question. I'm not going to even answer. So he told you, Spicy Dak and their philosophy is, if you challenge us one-on-one, we go bust your ass. That's what he basically said. So what happened? They saw the look. Oh, you challenging Cook one-on-one? Well, you finna get Spicy Dak. And Spicy Dak is the one that checked to this And Spicy Dak is what did this. And we began to cuss out Mike McCarthy. So I know some people out there like, I want 100% Spicy Dak at all times. I don't really think you do. Because it's a time for Spicy Dak, and it's a time to where Spicy Dak need to go sit down. That was not the time for Spicy Dak. We needed Governor Dak right there. Now, this is the problem. Your head coach knew what to do. Your head coach broke down the whole scenario of how he was methodically trying to do what was first, which was what? Kill the clock. It wasn't about the aggression of points. It was about the aggression of killing that clock. But see, what happened is we ran up on Spicy Dak. So then it's a lot of people that say, boss, you should just trust Dak. He's been in the league. You gotta trust him to do the job. That is a righteous thought, and I'm not gonna fight it, except it's not exactly correct. What's correct is he's been in the league for a while. What's incorrect is that he is a veteran to this offense. Let me say that again. What's correct is he's been in the league a while. What's incorrect is that he's a veteran to this offense. Technically, to this offense, Dak is a rookie. Technically. And so now I'm finna put it all the way together and explain the real issues here. Because the real issue is, and I'm being honest, it's what I fear is that we have too much delegation. I'm being honest. I think Dak got too much power. Because see, because ask yourself, let's just ask yourself one question. If you trying to kill the clock, do you want a system that was number 1 in 10 play drives or explosive? I'm gonna say that again. If you trying to kill the clock, hey y'all, can y'all kick out William? Yeah, please shoot him. Shoot him. Because like this dude always come in talking about like racism, and he's racist as hell. Like he's on, like why did, yeah, just shoot us real quick. Just shoot this motherfucker. Like
everybody around me shooters, ain't no telling who was shooting.
Are y'all only a black man YouTube channel? Boy, this is the most insecure. Oh my God. You talking about little meat energy. I feel you though. He said, hey, I want some white representation on your channel. Hey bro, I'll take some white people. I do content with white people all the time. So, did y'all shoot him? I want to confirm that he shot. I don't want to see him anymore. I'm sick. I've been seeing him too much. Like, before I keep going, I want to make sure that dude is dead. Can the shooters confirm that he's dead? Obviously, I don't mean that literally. YouTube is very much so a metaphor. I don't mean literal dead. I mean like shot in terms of not on her. I want to confirm the kill. Yes. Okay. Kill confirmed. Special K. Special K say kill confirmed. Yeah. See, look at this. And I already know. My boy said, dude is clearly trolling. I'm white and I haven't had any problems. I know. Man, white people be all in this chat all the time. We got all kind of white followers. Asian, international. All right. So back to what I was saying. Explaining this dilemma. Because a lot of people say, trust Dak. Trust spicy Dak. I don't think that's wise. Why? Who is the person that showed that he already had? Let me ask y'all a question. Is there anything better than number one? Is there anything better than number one? And let me ask you a question. Why would you go against, let's stay with spicy. No, stay with spicy. Listen. Yeah, for a majority of the game, I want spicy Dak. Again, I want 97% of spicy Dak. 97%. All of you people that's like, I don't want no Governor Dak. Damn, I can't have 3%? So okay, how long is a game? 60 minutes, right? I need Governor Dak just for 2 minutes. Or at the most, maybe 7 minutes. I can't take Governor Dak in that scenario? Yeah, and look, this is a good thought. Look at this. Boss, you have to give Dak the room to grow and learn from his mistakes once he's given freedom and total control. We have time? Do we have time? Is this week 18 coming up? Or do we got like 5 weeks or something left or something? I don't think we got time. I was talking to the OC earlier, and I was really going back and forth with him. I was trying to talk him into this. And he told me, he said, man, I think Dak can do it. I trust Dak and all of that. And he kept saying, I think. And I said, all right, OC, would you rather in this scenario know or think? He said, come on, boss. When you ask me a question like that, the answer is obvious. I said, yeah, that's why I asked it, because I know you want to know. So why we going with I think Dak can do it, or I believe he can eventually learn and grow, when you already know that we was the number one offense in long play drives, and we had a long sample of games to know that. We know we are number one in 10 play drives. So why would we go with I think? Let's take that from Dak. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't go with spicy Dak mostly. So let me really explain why it's important to take and put the governor on Dak in game managing situations. So I want to recall something to y'all that some people may have forgot. So listen. Hold on real quick.
In his cadence, apparently, in 2023.
Yes! Here we go! Here we go! Here we go!
Here we go! Normally it's like red 18, green 19, like you hear about this. And then Russell Wilson has this cadence that I heard, and it kind of infiltrated. I think I was listening in my car as we were driving home from Lucas Oil Stadium, and it sounded like it was 1910 with football. This is what he said.
Ready, set, hot, 1, Hut 2, Hut 3.
Hut 3. I didn't even know that existed. So, like, you're a person to ask who, because obviously the hard count and the cadence is something that you're like world renowned for at this point. Why is the "here we go" entering my life, and how did this not happen beforehand? And what is like the evolution of cadences that we've got to this point where there's so many different ones seemingly at the same time?
Well, I think that's a great question. Let me just first I want to talk about Dak because he's become one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. I've watched more football this year than any other year because in normal years you're getting ready for a game, so you're never watching football, right? And you might see some scores on your phone, and maybe every now and then see a Sunday night game, and you might get part of Monday or Thursday. But you're just not watching a lot of games. And this year I watched a lot more games than usual. And Tom had some comments about Brady had some comments about some of the mediocrity in the game. And I just want to say Dak is not who he was talking about. For a number of reasons. But I just love that he's really playing the position. What I mean by that is I'm watching him make Ringo calls. So that's protection adjustments against.
Okay. So Dak is making Ringo calls. Okay, hold on real quick. So keep in mind all the things that he's saying Dak is doing. Just playing the quarterback. Ringo calls. This is the first thing he said.
These crazy looks and picking things up. I'm watching him, bring the tight end back in against the zero pressure and throw an old concept we used to run for a touchdown to CeeDee Lamb in the back of the end zone. I'm watching him use his cadence beautifully and get into this rhythmic "here we go" into like dummy, using it as a dummy sometimes, doing it twice into like other cadences. I mean, the last 4 or 5 weeks I've gotten to see more of their games, and I just want to say like he's playing a position in a really impressive way. And for whatever reason, maybe because he's the Cowboys quarterback and it's one of those premier positions in sports, like I feel like the Green Bay quarterback has been for a long time, and some other, positions in various sports, he might take a little more shit than he deserves, or maybe it's deserving of the position, I guess. But I love the way he's playing, and I love the way he's playing, like really playing. I'm not talking about just like, making good throws. I'm talking about like, it seems more rare that guys are actually really playing the position where you're making adjustments. You're handling everything at the line of scrimmage.
Handling everything at the line of scrimmage.
Now you're doing this crazy cadence stuff. Like, I love it. And I just want to shout out Dak for, like, really.
All right. So we already know how he shouted out Dak. But I wanted y'all to hear what he was explaining as Dak's job description of what he's doing play in and play out. Okay. Because I know a lot of people got a problem with Governor Dak because in their minds, even though I'm only asking for 3% of the damn game, people feel like I'm insulting Dak. They feel like I'm saying we need to put him on training wheels like he a scrub. Let me first explain something. Most quarterbacks are on governors. Guess who on the current governor and was also in Green Bay? You want to know who's on the governor? Oh, yeah, Aaron Rodgers. See, when Aaron Rodgers was under Mike McCarthy, he did all the things Dak is doing. That's why he could recognize it that Dak is doing it. But see, notice and think about what happened. Think about it. Do y'all remember when we played Green Bay? What did Aaron Rodgers say that everybody read his lips? Let me see if you can read my lips. He said, run the ball to his head coach. Run the ball. Hold on. Aaron, you didn't have the authority to just check into a run yourself? No. Aaron is governed at times, but Dak should never, under no circumstances, be put in a situation that's optimized. See, because this is what we asking. We asking Dak. See, because think about the flow of a play call. Mike McCarthy does this. Dak gets it. So then Dak got a 28, 11, 44, dive 29. He got to take that and then go tell that to everybody. 28, 11, 29, dive 29. He tell everybody that. Then they got to go out. So then they go out. Now here comes what? The pre-snap games. Why? What is he doing with his cadence? Hut, hut, here we go. Hut, right? Oh, the linebacker move. That's the mic. Right? So he identifying all of that. All right, blitz coming. All right, now here coming the real cadence. Hut, here we go. That means let's get this out the way. Let's get this ball hike. I have assessed the field. Let's go. Now, he now has to run the play. Or he'll get into his cadence. He'll say, here we go. Hut, hut. They'll make their movements. If he was able to draw them, he'll get a clue. Then he'll start making checks because it's his offense now. Okay, they running man. You already know what to do. Cook, they playing press on you, so you know we finna go vertical, bro. You already know CeeDee Lamb, it's your show. They man coverage, let's go. Here we go, hut. So now think about that. That's just part of it. Then also, what about him setting the protections? He doing that too. Talking to Tyler Biadasz, talking to all of them about the protections. Come in, you get right here. That blitz is coming. He doing all of that, and now y'all saying also manage the game. I don't think that's the way. Especially when your outfit. So I want y'all to understand what I mean by 3%. I only want when we are ahead and trying to close out a game, I don't want spicy Dak. I want no check calls or limited calls. All right, so let's talk about that. No check calls or limited calls. And then Amp and Coach Marv getting ready to come in. But listen to this and then I'm going to conclude it. Here we go. Listen.
And play the game that we want to. And so, we've got to be aggressive, and you're going to get our fastball, and that's taking the shot.
That's all.
So remember, Spicy Dak is about being aggressive and taking that shot and being aggressive. But see, this is what you got to also know about the offense. This is where you got to know our offense. Dak has always had control of the offense. But the governor that was put on Dak was, let's not be aggressive. So Dak could always make his checks. It's he couldn't be aggressive on a vertical game. That was the governor that was put on Dak. So just listen, just so y'all make sure I ain't tripping. And this is where I'm going to say the governor's style of offense need to be on closeouts where we trying to win. Listen, just listen real quick. Listen, then I'm going to conclude it.
Spontaneously, and also throwing the ball down the field a little bit more. Is that true?
That's definitely true. I mean, going back to San Fran game and really before that, we want to be aggressive, and you've got to take your shots. And I don't think we were doing that early enough. I mean, Coach McCarthy would be the first to say that. And so now it's about you give us one-on-one and you want to challenge us, we're going to challenge you. See if you can keep up and you can run with the guys that we have. And
so now if you see, that was the change that he made. So this is the deal. Under the old or before San Fran, Governor Dak was an offense to where it wasn't aggressive. It was called not to be aggressive. It was super efficient at long drives. It was remember, don't forget we had blowouts with this too. Don't act like we ain't blow teams out with Governor Dak. Don't play with me right now. I don't feel like playing with some of y'all. I just don't feel like playing, and I don't want no offense to stroke Dak ego either. I'm not over here like, I want spicy Dak because I don't want him to feel like he got training wheels. It's not about putting training wheels on a grown man. It's about recognizing that he's actually new to this offense, and it's smart to limit him until he's at least been in this offense about 2 to 3 years. This is his first year in this. And you go add managing the game to his plate in an offense? Why would we do that when we got a coach that's already number one? So the governor of Dak is basically saying this. If we ahead, all right, here we go. Let me just show you. So if we sit in this scenario right here, 1st and 25, 2 minutes on the clock. We up by 4, and the best defense is our offense killing that clock. So let's just switch this. Let's just switch this to, you see where that lion is to the right? With that number 13, put an S and an F by this. Put an S and an F by this. San Fran. So you up 17-13. And that's San Fran. And this is the playoffs. Do I want aggressive or do I want governor? I want the governor. I want safe. And I want smart. And more important, it's not even about safe and smart. It's about, I want number one. I want number one. What do I mean? I want the person that was number one in 10 play drives consistently. Because he showed when you listen to that press conference that he was thinking and managing it right. And Dak, if you pay attention, admitted for the most part that he likely checked out of a run or a high percentage pass.
Defense ultimately saved me. And that's probably why I was so anxious to, get back on the field with the 20 seconds and redeem my. That's one because I feel like I put our team in that situation, throwing the ball right there, and so that's one because I feel like I put our team in that situation, throwing the ball right there. And route on it was played. They brought 0. I got to do a better job on that one. That's when we're talking about the roller coasters of emotions. That's one because I feel like I put our team in that situation.
So it could be simple. Listen, y'all, this could be simple. This really could be real simple. This could be, but this is the thing, to where it could be as simple as Dak made the mistake, he won't make it again. But see, when it comes to game management and protecting leads, how many times have Dak even had to practice it? Just think about it. How many times have Dak even had this added to his plate? So for those who want, and for those who really want 100%, because I'm just asking for 3%. I do not want Governor Dak 97, but I want Governor Dak when it's called for. I want the Dak that's not getting ready to take vertical shots with a 4-point lead. Huh? That's the one I want. I want the one that's like, nah, I ain't doing it. I'm going back to the offense. I'm going back to the offense under Mike McCarthy, where we had the first 5 games before San Fran, where we was methodically driving the ball, where we was moving the chains and killing clock at the same time. So, yeah, we might not see this version right here. This version, we might not see this version of Spicy Dak. But y'all, I think a lot of people being one-dimensional in their thinking on this, where they thinking, oh, he ain't gonna do this again. It might not be this, but it could be something else. It can be something else. It don't have to be that exact same scenario. All I'm saying is I think it's just best for us to make a tweak. One more tweak. Now hear me out. Coach Amp and Coach Maul they might already be in the building. No, they not. I asked them to come in today and we will just talk some ball before we do Boss Candy. Because Boss Candy also coming up too. Okay. Well, I'll be waiting on them as I kind of break this down. Somebody say something else like what? It's a very good question. All right. So you got to remember, this is a very good question. So remember, what did he say to Jason Garrett? He said, if you go challenge us, we go take it. So it might not be a fade. He might go just a little bit more conservative and go with a slant.
My man, boss.
I see you. Still too much. Still too much. Because guess who already showed likely they had the right play call in there anyway? Mike McCarthy. Because that's why Dak said it was my fault for checking to a pass right there. And that's why I gotta ask again. You never say it was my fault for passing right there if the original play was a pass. That don't even jive. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Coach, let's talk this out. And we got Imp in the building. So, oh man, we got the two homies, man. We bringing Watch Party Part 2 up in this month. Let's go, man. So, I gotta start with Coach Maul first of all, because me and Coach actually had this conversation, because this is how it started. This is how this whole thing started. Coach showing the sleeves and everything, but Coach but this is how this whole thing started. Like, I was just honest. I called Coach. I said, Coach, we messed up. Not you, we. I said we was ripping Mike, and it wasn't Mike, right? So then after we looked at it, Coach was like, boss, we probably need to put what did you say?
Yeah,
no check calls.
No check calls.
No check calls. Now, so with the no check calls, he basically saying we need to limit Dak a little bit, limit his option, let the critical decision be on the head coach. So then we start talking about that and the scenarios in which you do that. So go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, there is no situation. Boss, there's a lot of people out there said let's let Dak take total control. No player has total control. No coach has total control. And there's a reason why Mike McCarthy called that play at that particular time, because we can't expect Dak to know what time, how we trying to monitor the time, what he has talked about with his defense, telling them that they only gonna get the ball back with a minute left, how we gonna play for a minute. All these goes into decision making when Mike McCarthy makes that call, because he's thinking about the total team as an offensive coordinator of where his team can be positioned to win this game. You can't put that stress on the quarterback to think about the total team. Even though Dak said that he let his team down, but it's not his position to control the game in the time of possession or the time of the game management. I ask our people out there, in all the games y'all done watched in football, when the announcers be talking about poor clock management, do they ever say the quarterback had poor clock management? They always talk about the sideline because time management is the head coach job. That's his job. Because when things don't go right, he has to stand in front of that podium and answer that question. And he can't say, oh, well, I let the defense coordinator handle that. I let the quarterback handle that.
Yeah.
That comes through you.
That's what people missing right there, what you just said. And that's why I asked that question, is it too much delegation?
Too much delegation. And he doesn't delegate. I'm gonna even tell you this. Boss, Quinn, certain special things that Quinn wants to do got to go through Mike McCarthy's ear.
Yeah.
Anything Foster want to do got to go through Mike McCarthy's ear. He might trust them, but if he says, no, I don't want to do that, they're going to say, aye, sir. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
So we don't want to put Governor Dak talking about we taking the control. We know we got an ascending quarterback that can run the offense. But there's certain time, place, and situations that the head coach has to say, this is how it goes. Do not check out of that.
Right. This is how it goes. Don't check out of that. Now, Coach, that's important because of the major thing you said is that the fact that he looking at it from the bigger picture. And it's also, in my opinion, he has more time to process managing the game versus Dak is going through all these checks. So
just to do the play.
Just to do the play. You know what I mean? Versus Mike McCarthy does this and now he's sitting and waiting. While he waiting, let him think about managing. Let Dak think about executing. What's your thoughts on that, Amp?
Let's think about it.
Hold on, Coach.
When he comes to the sideline, there's players. I'm sorry. I thought you would come back to me. I'm sorry, Am. Go ahead.
But don't forget your point, Coach. Don't forget your point.
Okay.
So, first off, good evening, chat. Good evening, everybody.
I don't know what happened to Amp. Go ahead, Coach.
He froze. There's times when the coach Dak is gonna come to the sideline on many occasions and said, he might have came to the sideline on that play and said, Coach, they gave us the one-on-ones out there, but I did, why wouldn't you let me check to be aggressive? And then Mike McCarthy is going to explain to him saying, I'm trying to get 45 seconds off the clock, Dak.
Right. And
now Dak understands, like, okay, it's a bigger picture than just that play.
Right.
But McCarthy has to be the one to make that decision because he's looking at a bigger picture. So regardless of what y'all think, in every situation on a football team, and probably in life, regardless of how much you run it, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be certain time, place, and situation where you're going to be governed to do something that's how it's got to be done.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Makes sense.
Okay. So you got to ask yourself this question. What are some of the reasons we got rid of our last coach? Why were you so gun-ho on bringing Mike McCarthy in? What is his purpose? Why is he really here? And then you also got to ask yourself this question. In his previous coaching tenure, how did Mike McCarthy do against the Cowboys?
Wait, I gotta hit a button on that. Wait.
We thought we had the game in the bag, right? What happened? We left too much time on the clock. For who? That bad man, Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy. And we got our ass torched by Mason Crossbar. Y'all know what time it is. I'm preaching already in case you ain't heard yet.
Bruh. Yeah. So, like, do y'all have any other thoughts on just kind of like this dilemma? Because the dilemma that I see The dilemma that I see is the over delegation, right? And I don't think we should be trying to develop Dak's game management skills right now in the new offense.
Nope.
I think when we get into the pivotal points of a game, to me, it's all about one thing: the tweak that put us in the best position to win that game. So it was a tweak that was already made. Now keep in mind, our offense was doing good in the first part. It just wasn't getting the points in the red zone. I say most of it was based on execution, right? Most of it, right? It was 4 drops in the end zone by tight ends alone in the first 4 games. So
killing us, man.
Killing us. It was execution. But the offense did get better with Spicy Dak, right?
Yeah. But you know what, boss?
But hold on real quick, just
Stop
real
right-
quick. No, just real quick. I just want to just because I'm trying to build something. So this is the issue. So now that you go to Spicy Dak, he clearly said when he was talking to Jason Garrett that basically they was like, hey man, we need to be aggressive. So they approached, obviously, Mike McCarthy after the San Fran game was like, hey man, if they challenge us, you got to trust me to burn these dudes. You got to trust me to go to my playmakers. Mike McCarthy made the adjustment. So he basically amp him and coach turned the knob. But see, I think he overturned. You know what I'm saying? He overturned to where now just turn it a little bit back, 3%. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't gotta have all the controls. Just hey, in this scenario right here, because I know this offense, this is my offense, this is my playbook. I have the whole play sheet. Trust my brain right now. Everywhere else, we trusting you, Dak. What's your thoughts on that, Coach?
Yeah, and Mike McCarthy said in his statement what he wanted in that down in possession. He wanted to get the 5 yard, to get the field goal, to take it down to less than a minute, and when he had to kick the ball off to them. That's what he wanted to get to. It was one timeout. He did not want an incompletion. So he probably called a run play because he did not want the clock to stop. So when that play happened, what he wanted, you didn't do. Yes, everybody wants to score a touchdown, but the pass that he was going to try was a low percentage pass.
Yeah.
He wanted a high percentage play so the clock can keep running.
Right.
He did not want to extend the football game. He wanted to shorten the game, get out the door. We had a good victory. We won this game 17-3 or 20-13, 17-13 or 20-13 with no problem, and we're going home a little bit early. That's what Mike McCarthy wanted. But we can't assume that Dak knows that same thing. That's why we said this should have been we're going to run so-and-so play, no check.
Right. No check.
That's all you got to do.
No check.
And that means if he come to the sideline and say, well, Coach, why we couldn't check? And now he explains it. And as time goes on, he will understand that and get on the same page, and to the point where they're almost thinking alike, because now Dak is learning how to manage a game because he's getting led by his coach. And I want to say this, Dak is growing, right?
He's growing.
But when we hired McCarthy, what was the main thing that people talked about while we was hiring McCarthy? What was his main thing in his resume?
He's great for quarterbacks.
Yep, he won a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yep, experience.
So he's got to show Dak how to win a Super Bowl, and it's going to come down some crucial moments like this.
Right.
And in those moments, he must be led by McCarthy.
Yeah.
And sometimes the decision has to take it out of his hand. And you're right, boss. This comes down to delegating authority. This is 2 instances in 2 places where delegating authority has hurt Mike.
Yep.
One comes when he delegated too much authority to Fossil, and he sent a guy on the block punt without it came out without his call. You get a roughing the punter, and it changed the momentum of the game.
Right.
And here it is again. He make a play call, and that 45 seconds almost cost us a football game.
Yep.
Not saying nothing bad by the coach or the player, but he has to be the one standing in front of the podium
Right.
and answer those questions. And guess what? He has to answer them to the media, and he's going to have to answer to his boss about why that happened. And he can't go back to his boss or the media and say, oh, they did it on their own. Your name is head coach.
Right. Right.
So I'm gonna sum it up, right? All my church folks in the building, follow me for a second. Don't shank me with the butter knife like y'all did William Murphy. We ain't going there today. So here we go. Mike McCarthy is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures.
Maketh me.
He leadeth me beside
Still
the tough
water.
defenses.
Ah!
He restoreth my game. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of the playoffs, I will fear no evil, for Big Mike is with me. Thy clipboard and thy play sheet comfort me. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my Gatorade cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my career, and I shall dwell in the Hall of Fame forever.
Hold on, bro.
You gotta record that.
Yeah. Quality. You scared some people with that one though. Boss is like, tell that boy to repent. I feel kind of nervous with you doing that. Nigga. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if I feel too good about that right there. No, I'm messing with you. Coach, I know you. This. I want to first say something. One of the things that Coach is fantastic at patterns. He's fantastic at play-by-play stuff too. So we all focusing on, obviously the 2nd and 13, right? But we was talking earlier on the phone, and you was talking about other scenarios to where it could be this communication over delegation thing. Can you explain that? Where you saw it also?
Yeah, communication. I saw this in the possession before that possession. If we look back, I only think people look at the game when we talk about time. We scored, right?
Mm-hmm.
With 7 minutes, I think 5 minutes to go in the game, we was up by 4 points. We got them to do a 3 and out. We got the ball back and drove down. It was 2 minutes, 45 seconds, and it was a 2nd down and 8 play there. And it looked like it was an ultimate call there that rolled out and made a pass. It was an incomplete pass, and they kept a timeout. They didn't have to use a timeout. We didn't get it down to 2-minute warning. We had to put the ball. All those are the decisions by Mike McCarthy to say, you can't come out of those checks.
Yeah.
I'm running the time now.
Right.
And now the foot soldiers of the quarterback has to be in line. And I think it's a communication thing. It's a great teaching point for Dak. I am so happy, boss, that Dak got up in front of that podium and admitted that, because that's why he's a leader.
Yeah.
He admitted that because he knew McCarthy didn't throw him under the bus. And he went and jumped under the tire. That's
Facts.
how a leader supposed to do.
Yeah.
He jumped under the tire.
He jumped under the tire after Mike McCarthy avoided him with the bus. Yeah.
That's right.
Well said, Coach.
I put my team in a bad spot.
Yeah.
And so I know that after the game or during that sideline, Mike McCarthy had a chance to talk to him and explain to him why he called that play, to call it, and this is why I'm going. And for now, Mike McCarthy is going to let him know that, hey, going down the stretch, I got control here. I understand we're not going to take the offense out your hands, because we can't, because you on the field. We're going to want you to make the decisions. but I'm managing for the whole game, for our team. And you got to have thinking not just for you, but you got to be thinking about the team. So that's not a bad thing for McCarthy. That's not a bad thing for Dak. But what we're trying to do is we wish that Mike McCarthy takes a little more control over certain situations, not over the game, certain situations.
3%. 3%. The 3% is final 4 minutes, maybe final 2. And the middle 8, maybe. Can you explain the middle 8, Coach?
Middle 8, the middle 8 is the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half. Usually what you want to do is you getting the ball first in the second half. You want to control the last 4 minutes of the first half and possibly score and then double up on the team. Because you score right before the half and then you get the ball and you take it down and score again. And that's what we call a double up before they get the ball again. You want to control those because you want to win the last 4 minutes of a half, because usually a team that goes in the half with momentum or scores last, they have momentum coming out the second half. So you want to win those last 4 minutes of the first half. And you want to win the first 4 minutes of the second half, offensively or defensively. So you can carry the momentum through the rest of the game. Mike McCarthy has that decision there. I'll give you a scenario right quick, boss.
Yeah.
Let's say we got the ball and it's 8 minutes to go in the 7 minutes to go in the half, right? We in our field position and we get to like the 39-yard line and it's a fourth and 3, right? Right, we at 39. We ain't at midfield yet. And it's a 4th and 3, and it's like 6 minutes to go. The crowd will tell you, McCarthy, go for it. Go for it. Go for it. It's 6 minutes to go. What McCarthy might decide to say, hey, no, we're going to punt the ball because my defense is playing good because he knows how to throw the game going.
Right.
He might punt the ball, get them deep, try to get a 3 and out, get the ball with like 2 minutes left in the half, go down and score, and double them up in the second half.
Right. And it's that last 2 minutes is where you need Governor Dak.
That's when he got to Governor Dak. Because he know what he wants. Dak may not know, but Mike McCarthy might do a better communication job before Dak goes out, right? And talk to Dak. Schottenheimer might talk to Dak and say, hey, this is what we're looking for. This is what we're trying to get through. And then Dak will understand, because when he flows the confidence to his team, they're going to listen to him. Because in that huddle, Dak is the boss in the huddle.
Right.
CeeDee Lamb be talking about throw the ball to me. Cooks be talking about throw the ball to me. Tony Pollard say give me the ball. Ferguson be talking about give me the ball. But Dak is the guy that says this is how it's going, and that's it.
Right. Yeah, and so this is the thing, man. I want to say this last thing. This is not an insult to Dak.
No.
See, there's a lot of people, they getting offended because we saying Governor Dak, because they thinking we basically trying to make Dak a chump.
No.
This is what I want everybody to understand. Most offenses don't put the whole offense in the hands of their quarterback in the first place. Even Kellen Moore didn't. Think about that. Even Kellen Moore had a degree of a governor on Dak. It's no way an insult to say you don't want to open up everything yet to him when he's still learning the offense. Dak is one of them kids, right? That's 14, but he got a full beard and he's 6'4". It's kids like that, right? 14 years old, 6'4", full of muscles and a full beard. See, Dak got the features of a grown man, but in this offense, he's still learning it. You see what I'm saying? You feel me?
Yeah, pup.
He's a pup.
Hey, boss. What? Not a pup, but he ain't full grown. You know, he still got some growing to do.
Yeah, he still got some growing.
While I got my little one here, I'ma ask her. They say train up a child, right? What does Dak say, baby?
Hey, God.
That's right.
Hey, God.
Here we go.
All right, yeah.
That's
Y'all,
my
so
boo,
listen,
y'all. That's my little boo.
we got some super chats, man. Let me get to these super chats real quick, y'all.
Okay.
Then we gonna get up out of here. I can't take calls because we got Boss Candy coming up in 30 minutes. But let's take these super chats real quick and see if we can all knock these out together. Here we go. Let's go. She stole the show with that, man. I see boys in there like I miss my little baby girl at that age. I know. I ain't got no baby girl, but I can feel it. I miss my sons when they were young. Cause boy, they trying me now. All right.
Yeah.
He say, so the first super chat, this is a direct question on what we've been talking about, came from Curtis, a longtime supporter of the channel. He says, so on a no check play, what happens when Dak thinks the D got the play covered? He still run it? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like for instance, if we look at this play and assuming that what Dak was saying when he said it was my fault for passing on that play, if it was a run, then you basically taking a run because the advantage is to milk the clock. It's not even as much so the points.
Yep.
It's the clock that you out.
Even when you lose, you still win.
Yeah, you might lose the down, but you kill their clock and a timeout. You know what I'm saying? So that's the point of no checking. But we can also meet in the middle on it too. One of the things that hurt Dak when he was spicy Dak at the moment and not Governor Dak was that he went for the vertical shot. And when you listen to what he said in an interview with Jason Garrett, what did he say? If you challenge us, we go take that shot. Well, we can still keep your offense flexible too. We can keep it to where you still making the checks, but you can't make a throw like that. A fade throw in that situation was absolutely the wrong throw. So let's even say that he decided to pass, but this is Governor Dak. See, the difference is if it's a Governor Dak situation, you passing, but you're not doing a low percentage pass. You're doing a high percentage pass. You see what I'm saying? And a check down. You see what I'm saying? It's a safer pass. And let's say if that pass is covered up, now what it turns into 2.3, right? You work the 2.3 scramble drill. What's happening during the scramble drill? The clock is still running. What happened when he threw the fade? The clock stopped after 4 seconds. So even if I meet you in the middle, I don't want spicy Dak. The main person I don't want in the middle 8 and the last 2 minutes, spicy go sit down if we got a 4-point lead. Go sit down.
Hey, Boss, I think we didn't point out something. I know you put that play back up there again.
Yeah.
We talked about something when we was talking about it, right? Even though that play was to go for a 9 route, Brandon Cooks cut it off because Brandon Cooks is a veteran. He done played on Super Bowl teams. He understood what was needed there. Only a completion was needed there. That's why he didn't even run the whole route.
Yep.
Because he understood that was a high percentage pass. It's feast of phantom, and most 9 passes are like 30% completion rate. He knew that we get it. If I go to comeback, we get this 10 yards. The game is over. We don't have to score a touchdown for the game to be over.
Right.
The game is over. So that's what Dak had to realize. It says he has to tone it down to say, when you say spicy Dak is going for the home run, but as Amp said in our conversation, he only needed a single.
He just needed a single. And so then,
That's it.
DP, this is a good comment. You can't beat a comment like this because it comes from experience. He said, Boss, I love you, bro, but stop. As a former QB, you can't say this is my team and my offense, but sometimes you gonna do it my way. Well, what do you think was happening in the first 5 games, bro? No, hold on real quick. Like, what was happening? Dak already explained that they had to go to Mike McCarthy to basically say, we want your permission to go vertical. So, yes, you can, because they already did it this year. Yeah. See, the difference is Dak is not Brent Favre. He ain't got that ego to where you can't tell me what to do. Dak want to win. If you talk to him and say, hey, man, listen, it's about how you go about it. You don't go to him and say, you gonna do it my way. Of course you gonna get pushed back if you go to him like that. But if you go to him and say, hey, Dak, I want to make some changes. When we get into the 2-minute, we're not doing checks on that. I just want you to work on getting those guys in position and making sure everybody is aligned and that you're protected. Because we gonna be managing the clock right now. And this is a new offense. I don't want to put all that on you. We gonna make a little bit tweak right here. You know what I'm saying? We'll make some changes. We go communicate, but that's the current way we doing it. He ain't gonna be like, I'm the quarterback. I will manage the game. You gave him 90% of managing the game. You already gave him 90%. So yeah, I appreciate it.
I wasn't even saying 2 minutes. But when we in a point of killing the clock, and we're trying to end the game when we got a lead, right?
Yeah.
I got control over that, and we're not going aggressive. And for that person to say that, the media has gotten us so fooled to think that the great quarterbacks have total control and nobody tells them what to do.
Yeah, why did Aaron Rodgers have to look at his coach and say,
that is total?
Yeah, talk about that. Talk about that.
Of the coach, and if you ever get to that point where you put total control into a player, and I'm not saying some don't have a lot of control, but if you put total control, that's how guys get fired.
Yep.
So look, I gave this.
I got 3 more super chats.
Oh, go ahead.
It's quick. You good. He say, you're completely right, but I want to draw a comparison. Remember saying Pete Carroll, Russell, how would he handcuff? How do we manage this? For the most part, Dak is not handcuffed. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm giving you 90% of spicy. That's not handcuffed. What we telling Dak is that we're not handcuffing you. We're tweaking the offense to take some. Okay, this is the best way to say it. Why are we even better right now? We better because we took stuff off Dak's plate with Kellen Moore. It's the same conversation. We go simplify it even more. We don't want you having to manage games. I will manage the game. You execute the play. And I tell you what, I'm going to give you 2 or 3 plays that you can check into. Just execute those.
Yeah, that's what he got. He got, and that's on every play. But on this play, on this particular play, I want to run this because I got more with this play than just making a possession. I'm thinking about other things, and Dak's not thinking about that. And that super chat said, what about Russell Wilson? They handcuffed Russell Wilson.
No, he said, you're completely right, but I want to draw a comparison. Remember Seattle, Pete Carroll, Wilson, how he would be handcuffed. How do we manage this? And see, also Russell Wilson had an ego because that's what all that let Russ cook bull crap came from. See, when they was running the ball and they was handcuffing Russell, that offense was better.
And he was winning Super Bowl or playing the Super Bowl.
Yeah, handcuffing Russell made them win the Super Bowl.
That's right, and still won again.
So, handcuff his ass. And see, this is the thing. Again, we talking about 3%. We ain't talking about massive overhaul. Y'all don't want to compromise on 3%. God damn. Anyway.
I don't think. Boss, we talked about this off air. If we would have lost that game, nobody would have cared about what that decision was. They would have all said Mike McCarthy. All over the whole nation would have said Mike McCarthy cannot manage the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
If we would have lost, yeah, it would have been, see, everybody cool with it because we won. That's why everybody, oh, man, boss, come on, man, you're over. Oh, come on, big deal.
And even the Joneses would have said that same thing. They may have, and it would have cost us a seed and we get knocked out of the playoffs, he might have got fired over that same thing.
Yeah,
because they have been so embarrassed with him making a mistake, he could lose his job. So I asked everybody in the chat out there, you rather lose your job because you saying in certain situations of that importance that you saying, oh, hey, let somebody else do it.
Yeah, that's it. I also have a problem electing to pass on third down, boss.
We ran on third down.
No, we passed.
We passed third, yeah.
Yeah, because we passed, because I just watched the film on it. We threw it to Ferguson. We completed it,
We threw it to Ferguson, yeah.
Yeah, and it was to put it in the middle of the field. But it wouldn't have killed. Well, did they have a time? I have to look at the whole scenario again.
They had one timeout. I said, he might well have passed the third down because they had one timeout left. If we would ran the ball on second down, they would have had no timeout. We could have ran the clock. And we gave them a timeout for throwing an incomplete pass. So McCarthy said we might well throw on third down. They're gonna stop the clock anyway.
That part.
Right. So did the last Super Chase said
They're gonna stop the clock anyway.
Yeah. Mike McCarthy, he said Mike McCarthy got to push detailed teaching in fourth quarter on the PCP. That's from camp. Dak was the product of the moment, wanting the kill shot.
Yeah, and didn't Dak say that? He got swiped up in the moment?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Dak did say somebody got caught up in the moment.
So let's
that's how you keep your players from getting caught up in the moment. This is what we've been saying the whole time. Sometimes you have to protect your players from themselves and their emotions.
Right.
And you got to be the adult in the situation and say, yo, we're doing this. We're doing this play. I can't, because you fired up, you pumped up. As he said, I got caught up in emotions. But Mike called the play so we can get to them to a point where that put them in stress, and that 45 seconds changed their whole offense. I don't think people understand. A minute to go, going down 80 yards, all those passes y'all saw in the middle of the field, Detroit couldn't even do those.
All right, I got to get ready for Boss Candy. That's coming up in 20 minutes. So, Amp, I know you had something.
Yeah, I just, Dak is amazing. We know what he brings to the table. Mike is amazing. We know what he brings to the table. But one thing's for certain and two things for sure. Mike McCarthy has this one thing over Dak Prescott, and that is experience. He has been in these tight, nitty, gritty, grind out, gangster, as coach would say, type situations. So if Dak admitted that he nutted up in the situation, how are we wrong for wanting Big Mike in a small percentage of situations to have the veto power?
Right.
We're not saying Mike veto everything.
Nope.
We just want you in those small
3%,
but critical
middle 8.
And guess what? If it don't work, guess whose shoulders it falls on? Big Mike, not Dak.
Yep. Well said. Great final word.
Great thing. And it's gonna fall on Mike McCarthy's shoulders regardless. And that's what you have to realize. Especially moments of time of clock management. And I think what this show is about and what we're trying to say is we're trying to get the little things that can show big in big games.
Right. That's right.
Going
it's the
forward,
details.
Every game is going to be about details
and
execution and efficiency. And there may not be no blowouts, and it may come down to holding the ball long enough. It may come down to be that last second. This football is about inches and time value.
Yep.
That's what football is about.
Yeah.
How you value the ball when you got the ball, how you value the time that you have the ball, or you protect the ball, taking that time away, and the inches and the penalties and all these things. We have talked about penalties of this team. What we're trying to do is clear up the miscommunication on the field and the sideline, and maybe that taking that little governor on certain situations and better communication on certain situations where McCarthy takes over in certain situations will give a better communication so we don't have these little tafus going forward, because we don't want a sad day to come and we get in a situation like this again and the 2-point conversion goes through and we could have prevented it because we gave them 45 seconds to make a play.
Right.
So that's all we're saying. We're not killing Dak. We're not killing McCarthy. We just point those things out to say, hey, man, McCarthy, take a little bit more control. Dak, learn the way to get to the championship and let your head coach lead in certain situations, and we won't have to stay on that podium says, I made a mistake.
I wanted to get the ball back because of the mistake that I
ain't gonna have to say
made
that.
On management. Nah, just take that out of his hands, man. You shouldn't be having that discussion. My final words is this: for people that's saying, yeah, this go likely self-correct, I agree. This ain't no big deal. They saw this, Dak admitted, hey, don't make too big a deal out of it. Also, don't miss the bigger point of what we saying. What's the bigger point of what we saying? It's not what it's more of a question. Is it too much delegation? It's not even just with Dak. Is it too much delegation with Fossil? Is it too much delegation with Dan Quinn? See, these are all the conversations we trying to put out there now, right? To where sometimes you got to tighten up the small details right at the end. Right at the end, Because the word on the street is that the Dallas Cowboy defense calling their own stunts. Is that the right thing to do going into the playoffs? Right? Do we want spicy Dak 100% of the time? Or just 97% of the time? Am I willing to take a small tweak, but that tweak can get us in a better position to win it all? So that's what you go get from us. You go get the small tweaks. That's what you go get. And this ain't a big thing. This is a small thing, but small things can make big differences.
Absolutely.
Big difference.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Appreciate it. Thank you, fellas.
Already. Moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, The streets done taught me, but we're too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, The streets done taught me, I'm just tryna get my nigga paid. We came from Section 8, and I knew I was at since the 2nd grade. Man, I swear my time is coming, cause I'm never late. Came from broken homes and broken dreams to getting paid. Dollar bill, listen close, this is not a drill. Cause hungry trying to get a meal. I've been in light, who gon' pay a bill? I've been in action, been in traction, surplus with niggas lacking, shining light but still be blacking, red lights will stop the action, grand to go, even when it's slow. Higher heights to balance out the lows. Can't ride the wave cause you ain't got a boat.